The purpose of this video is to introduce you to edTPA. Oftentimes, teacher candidates ask us, what is edTPA? edTPA is a national assessment of readiness to teach. It was organized and developed by the Teacher Performance Assessment Consortium, otherwise known as TPAC. It's a national partnership among several organizations, including the Stanford Center for Assessment, Learning, and Equity, otherwise known as SCALE, the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education, AACTE, of which ISU is a member, Institutes for Higher Education, 25 state education associations, and Pearson, who is an operational partner in the process. As you will notice from this map, 24 states are currently participating in edTPA in some way, shape, or form. The reason the states are in different colors is because they had different levels of participation. ISU's participation is as follows. Currently, edTPA is a Gateway 3 requirement for all ISU education majors. This means that in order to successfully complete student teaching, you must submit an edTPA portfolio. As of September 1st, 2015, passing edTPA will be a requirement for teacher licensure in the state of Illinois. Why edTPA? edTPA has three advantages. First of all, it allows you as a teacher candidate to show your readiness for the classroom through performance. It prepares you for the new teacher evaluation system you'll encounter as you enter the profession, and it poises you for earlier application for the National Board certification. edTPA is based on the idea that effective teachers do the following things: engage students in active learning, create intellectually ambitious tasks, use a variety of teaching strategies, assess student learning both continuously and then adapt teaching to meet student needs, create effective scaffolds and supports, provide clear standards, constant feedback, and opportunities for revising work, and develop and effectively manage a collaborative classroom in which all students have membership. This becomes what's known as the core of effective beginning teaching, and this is what edTPA is designed to assess. You will notice that there are three circles: planning, instruction, and assessment. Those represent the three tasks that you will perform. Please note that if you're an elementary education major, you will have a fourth task as well. You will also notice the bridges between the three tasks: academic language and justifying planning decisions. That is because they will ask you to look at the academic language demands when you plan, during your instruction, and also during your assessment. You will also notice that we have justifying planning decisions, analyzing teaching, and using data to inform instruction. Those will show you what are the key things they will ask you about as you complete your portfolio. So what exactly is involved in edTPA? First of all, there's the learning segment. You will hear this a lot as you go through your handbook. It is 3 to 5 lessons of connected instruction. Please realize that those can be part of a larger unit. 3 tasks. Task 1, planning, instruction, and assessment. Task 2, instructing and engaging students in learning. And Task 3, assessing student learning. Again, please realize if you're an elementary education major in Illinois, you also have to do a Task 4 relating to math instruction. Evidence of teaching practice. You will be asked to submit 2 different types of materials. Things we call artifacts, which are things you have created or generated in your classroom, things such as lesson plans, video clips, and student works. And then commentary, which is your explanation and how you write about your teaching. 15 rubrics. Each of the 3 tasks is analyzed by 5 rubrics for a total of 15. And then you will also be asked to talk about language demands, which will be explained further in your handbook. In Task 1, here is what you will explain: how your lesson plans build on one another to help students achieve the learning objectives, how your plan supports will help students achieve the learning objectives, why the learning tasks you chose are appropriate for your students, the language demands of the learning segment and how you plan to help students with those language demands, and how you will assess student progress towards meeting the learning objectives. In Task 2, which is the instruction task, you will video yourself engaging students in learning, analyze your teaching effectiveness based on what is seen in the video, submit 1 to 2 video clips depending on your major that show how you have created a positive learning environment, engage students in learning, deepen student learning, and engage students in subject-specific pedagogy, otherwise known as teaching methods. In Task 3, which is the assessment task, you will choose 1 assessment and analyze student learning, showing patterns of learning and providing evidence to support your conclusions. Choose student work samples and submit those as evidence as to the feedback provided to students. Explain how students will use the feedback to further their learning. Analyze students' use of language demands and provide evidence to support your analysis. And identify your next steps for instruction and explain how they are based on student learning. Here's what you will learn as you go through edTPA. You're going to learn how to think deeply about how your teaching practice impacts your student learning. You do a lot of analysis and reflection, and that teaches you how to think more deeply about your teaching practice. And how to synthesize and apply what you have learned in your program. These programs at ISU are designed to help you develop these skills along the way, and edTPA is simply a way of demonstrating the skills you have learned. How will your edTPA portfolio be assessed? edTPA will be assessed. edTPA will be assessed by a trained scorer who is a practitioner in your content area. It will not be assessed by someone at ISU when it goes to be scored at Pearson. Scoring is facilitated by Pearson, and each task is scored based on 5 rubrics, each of which looks at a different component of the task. So when your edTPA portfolio is scored, you will actually get back 15 different scores, one for each of the rubrics. And each of the rubrics have 5 levels from 1 to 5. Here's what the typical rubric looks like. We call this a rubric blueprint. You will notice that level 1 performance indicates that we have a struggling candidate, not ready to teach yet. Level 5 indicates a stellar candidate. In between we have levels 2, 3, and 4. The way the rubrics are set up is that we have a progression from 1 to 5. So in some situations, the rubric is looking at where the teacher's emphasis is. Is the teacher focused on the teacher themselves, or are they focused on the students? You will notice that a teacher that is focused on him or herself is going to be at a level 1. A teacher who is really focused on his or her students is going to be a level 5. Does the teacher just look at the class as a whole, or does the teacher see individual groups? That also makes a difference between a 1 and a 5. Does the teacher just seem to be doing things because they're doing them? Or are they making decisions, and are they doing things intentionally, and are those decisions well executed in the classroom? That is the difference between a 1 and a 5. What technology skills will you need? You're going to video record in the classroom. You're going to have to download that video on a computer. You're going to have to clip and compress that video. And then you're going to have to upload the video to a website. We have workshops here at ISU as well as video guides to help you with these skills. Logistics. You will complete your edTPA portfolio during student teaching, and your portfolio will be delivered to Pearson via live text. The approximate cost for edTPA scoring is $300. ISU candidates will not be required to pay for the scoring until fall 2015. How should you prepare for your edTPA? The ISU teacher preparation programs are embedding many edTPA related assignments into your coursework. In addition to that, you will be told when you enter student teaching to thoroughly read your handbook as well as a document making good choices. These documents will help you greatly as you go to prepare your edTPA portfolio. In addition, because edTPA is based on good teaching practices, many of the skills you will need are already in place in your plan of study. So do well in your coursework and you will see that you will be well prepared for the edTPA. If you have questions, you can find general information about edTPA at edtpa.aacte.org. If you have questions about edTPA at ISU, please contact us at edtpa@ilstu.edu or contact your program director or coordinator. We are more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed learning more about the edTPA at Illinois State University.